The city of Pikeville is known as the city that moves mountains and railroad tracks and rivers. And it's on the river that we're going to start today's episode of I Want to Do That. We're here with Ronnie Hilton, Executive Director for Events for the City of Pikeville, and we are about to launch our boats in the river. And Ronnie, you're with us today because I guess the river is your primary baby for the city, right?
Yes, it is. We got 8.5 miles of Kentucky Blue Water Trail.
So I know that you guys rent different things. What are options if somebody wanted to call and have something to go down the river on?
We rent canoes, kayaks, and float tubes.
Now, is that for all day or is that a certain time limit?
It depends. On our canoes and our kayaks, you can take either a 4-hour trip or a 2-hour trip. And then for the float tubes, we offer a 3-hour trip.
If somebody wanted to do that, is there a primary point they meet? I mean, I know we've got 4 places to enter the river in Pikeville, but where's the one where you guys are at and when?
We operate all our rentals out from behind the Texas Roadhouse located on Thompson Road.
All right, Ronnie, I know you personally. You are a fisherman deep down inside more than anything. And if anybody knows what fish are in this river, you do. So what have we got? What can people expect to catch?
It depends on what you want to fish for. I mean, we've got quite a few different species in the river. I'd say our main species that we try to market and get people in is a smallmouth bass. We're absolutely loaded with good smallmouth bass fishing. The biggest one I personally caught was 22 inches and 5.5 pounds off this stretch.
That's huge.
Yes,
that's a big for a largemouth.
Yes, it is. If you're a cat fisherman, there's plenty of catfish, blue cat, channel cat, flatheads. And then we also have, for everybody that wants to fish for carp, we got some giant carp in the river as well.
All right, well, it's time to get on the river. And we have Taylor Justice with us from Wide Open Outdoors today. He's going to be on my boat, but you're guiding us. Tell us a little bit about where we're going.
Oh, we're just going to take a little short float on the stretch of river. It's about 2.5 miles long. We're going to start here around at the access point behind the Holiday Inn here in Pikeville. And then we'll take out under the Cedar Creek Bridge, which that puts us going right through the Pikeville Cut-Through Project, which is the second largest earth-moving project in the world, only next to the Panama Canal.
So we get to see the cut-through from a totally different view today.
Oh yeah, when you get down there, it's more like being in a big canyon than it is like being surrounded by trees and stuff. Most people come through the cut-through, they're driving or they've been up on the overlook. Well, you're going to be down at the main bottom now looking up. So it's a different perspective completely.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you'll push me and Taylor off and then you get in your canoe, let's go.
That sounds like a plan.
We've got so many cool things that we have found, and it didn't take a lot of digging.
No.
I mean, you never know. People maybe watch the show and say, well, there's got to be more, because we can only showcase so much in 30 minutes.
You know,
so get on there and Google search.
Some of the premise of us doing, an outdoor store was the fact that we've got the best outdoor entertainment right here in our back door, and here nobody, there was really no place like that around here, and we knew that we had this. We just didn't realize how much. What do they say? What's the saying now? If you're, instead of a vacation, if you can't afford a vacation,
you do a staycation.
Staycation or daycation.
Yeah, well, and I want to do that. We promote day trips. So we promote daycations.
Yeah, this is a daycation for us right here, to be able to do this. And anybody can do it. That's what's so great about it. You say, I want to do that.
You can do that.
Guess what? You can do that. And it doesn't take a whole lot of knowledge, or it doesn't take a whole lot of skill, or not a lot of money.
Oh, Taylor, do you see that?
Now that's something you could go wide open.
Now I want to do that.
I want to do that.
So sorry to leave you.
See what they did? They taught me this, and then she leaves me.
You're good.
No, she leaves me.
This was a totally unexpected thing that happened today. This was not in the plan for us to be out on the river enjoying a day and an airboat come by, but it's a perfect example to show you exactly how prepared our city is as far as the river. Not only do they offer stuff to have fun, but they guarantee that if something bad does happen, that they can respond as quickly as possible. Chief Ronald Kahn with the Pikeville Fire Department, tell us a little bit about the airboat.
The airboat, we had to go to Orange County, Texas to get this thing. And when we got there, an airboat, you're thinking an airboat in Florida. Well, this is not an airboat from Florida. This is a rescue airboat. It is designed for this type of environment that we're in now. High water, swift water. As you see, it's a big machine. We can access the river just about anywhere in the city. And if we can't, we'll make access, because we can drop this thing off on the blacktop and drive it over the hill into the water.
All right. Well, thank you, guys. I don't know where you were headed when you were coming up the river, but I'm going to go ahead and let you go that way. Thank you. All right, Taylor, hit this thing wide open.
Yeah, we got it.
Wow.
That's how you do
That
it.
was awesome. That is how you do it.
That's how you do it.
And that is how you do a small section of the river right here in Pikeville. But I'm telling you what, I'm hungry. We have worked up an appetite.
Yes, I'm ready for that too.
So when we come back, we're going to go to the top of the inn and have some lunch. Anytime we film a segment of I Want to Do That in a community, we try to feature a landmark. Well, where else would we eat lunch in Pikeville but the Landmark Restaurant? I'm here today with Josh Huffman. Everybody knows you that's anywhere near Pikeville. Anytime they've been to the Landmark, they see you. You're sort of a fixture here. Well, it's good to have you to talk to us today.
Glad to be here, absolutely.
And I guess you don't mind that we just came off the river, we're in jeans and a t-shirt and gonna eat lunch here?
Glad to have you. Anyone is always welcome at the Landmark. We don't have a dress code. We're not reservation only. You can come anytime and enjoy a great meal or enjoy any of our anemones. We've got a great lounge. We've got the Prohibition nightclub. We've got a 103-room hotel. Most of those rooms are recently remodeled. So yeah, we'll take you anytime, any place.
There you go. And you mentioned hotel, even though we try to say, you know, we do these shows of anywhere you can travel in a day, but you can accommodate them for a weekend.
Or longer.
Or longer.
There's a great anemones here at the Landmark, you know. You could actually just about live here.
And you can feed them well. We're getting ready to eat lunch today.
Breakfast, lunch, or dinner. We can absolutely feed you well.
I know one thing that's always been popular at the Landmark for years and years is the Sunday brunch. Do you agree? Is that like the thing
Sunday
to do?
brunch is definitely the place to be here at the Landmark. You know, we've got great breakfast, we've got great lunch, we've got fantastic homemade desserts. The crowd is great, and everybody's in their Sunday best. But it's a room full of great people and great food. So I don't know if you can get a better atmosphere than that.
You know, you mentioned that you guys are recently remodeled, but wow, the Landmark's been here for forever.
Yeah, Thomas Ratliff built it in 1963. He added on the restaurant on the fourth floor in '69. Mr. Huffman added on this deck, this floor, the lounge, 1986. And then Mr. May added on this deck this year. So
wow.
We're actually sitting on a brand new deck that overlooks Pikeville, and it's the best place to be, I think.
You know, one of the cool things about it is we just did the river float through the cut-through. You've got a perfect view of the cut-through right out here on this deck.
Absolutely.
We just talked about the cut-through and how big it was. 14 years, you know, and the second largest earth-moving project, second to the Panama Canal, and you've got the best view of it anywhere in town.
No doubt, we definitely have, especially where we're at. I mean, we have a great view right here.
Well, let me say one thing though, because a lot of the people, you know, who understand that the renovations have just happened here at the Landmark, we want to reassure them that some things haven't changed. And here's the big question: do you still have chicken and dumplings on Wednesdays?
We had chicken and dumplings yesterday on Wednesday. Yes, we did.
That's one of the things everybody knows. Wednesdays, chicken and dumplings.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like here comes our food.
Right on time. Josh, I'll never be able to eat that. I mean, it looks like a great burger.
It looks like a great challenge, doesn't it?
So let's forget this being I want to do that. It's I want to eat that.
Exactly.
If I can get my mouth around that. Wow. There's your bacon.
We love it. Thank you, sir.
Enjoy.
Wow. Looks
This
great.
is exciting.
Well, I guess the only thing left for me to do now is try the burger. It's hard to eat something that big, but I'm going to give it my all.
Love
I'm going
it.
to talk with my mouth full, but it's
There
good.
you go. All right.
When we come back, we're going horseback riding high above the city of Pikeville. How about let's just stick with the theme of the Pikeville Cut Through today. Earlier we were on the river at the very bottom. Now we're above Bob Amos Park at the very top. Behind me is Dreams Stables. In these stables behind me are 24 horses, and in the middle of those horses somewhere is a lady called Miss Betty. Let's see if we can't go find her. Well, I went inside the barn and was able to locate Miss Betty. Well, let me introduce you, Betty Tackett. That's the only time we're going to say Betty Tackett. From now on, you're just Miss Betty, because that's how everybody knows you.
That's what I love.
But you have got a wonderful facility up here.
Thank you.
When did you guys open?
We opened for business April 1st.
Okay.
But we've actually been here since January training.
You know, that's something you and I talked about before, is it's very important to you that both the horses and the riders enjoy the ride. So the reason you came up in January is to have a little bit of snow on the ground, right?
Yeah, we wanted to take the horses through the season. We wanted them on a daily ride to see the changes in their environment so that changes would not affect them once someone who may be less experienced on a horse would come upon something that was different.
You've got a separate ring out there that I think it's your practice ring,
Yes.
just for that.
Yes, we have what we call the flat ring, and there are no inclines. The people are allowed to go out there before they go on the trail to kind of get their balance and to get their nerve up and to make a decision. Do I feel like I'm accomplished enough to go to the hill, or should I stay here a couple more times? And oftentimes they choose to ride the flat ring a few times, and a lot of times they just decide to go ahead.
Okay. Well, I will be in the flat ring because I rode as a child and I've ridden a couple times, but it's been probably 10 years since I've been on the horse. So I'm not ashamed to say I'm going to go around that ring just
That's
to make
right.
sure that I feel it again.
Get your balance and get your nerve, confidence build up.
Okay. So hopefully some people, you know, maybe coming through Pikeville, and then that aha moment will hit them and they'll be like, wait, there's a horse stable. We can go ride horses this afternoon.
Absolutely, that's what we're hoping for.
Okay. Now, what are your hours? What days of the week, and when can you accommodate people?
We're open 10 till 7, Monday through Saturday. Mondays we don't do trail rides. We try to give the horses 2 days rest. And Sunday and Monday are their days for rest. We do pony rides here at the barn on Monday. And we do just cleanup work and training. But Tuesday through Saturday you can take a trail, just walk in, or you can give us a call, or you can actually book your events on EventBee. So go to eventbee.com and you'll find us there.
Okay.
And you're able to book carriage rides, horse rides, pony rides, trail rides.
Now, carriage rides, this is something a little bit different, and I really want to talk about, there's several aspects of that story that I want to tell. But if somebody loves horses and they want to see a different view of the city, you guys do have a carriage, a horse-drawn carriage.
Yes, and it is very pleasurable. I'm always very proud to be on that carriage. And it's just a nice view of the town. You're able to see more things about our city and to enjoy it more. We do a historical ride as well, where I do a narration of the history of Pikeville. It goes back to the Civil War. We bring you through current times, but it's really amazing. Pikeville has a wealth of historical value, and for people that have lived here all their life, a lot of us just didn't know the story. But it's a beautiful story and very interesting, and not to mention the fact that you're riding on a carriage with two beautiful horses.
If you don't ride horses on a regular basis, you still need to come up here and see this facility and meet Miss Betty.
Well,
You're a
thank you.
local celebrity. Everybody knows you.
Well, probably not a celebrity, but I really enjoy people.
And then that's evident. You love people and your horses.
I love my horses, and of course everybody knows I love children, so this is kind of like daycare. The kids, we have so many kids on the hill, and it's a wonderful thing for children to do. You know, we're not sitting in front of a TV, they're not sitting in front of a game. It's wonderful to come up here and experience this outdoorsy atmosphere.
I have had the best afternoon up here at Dream Stables at Bob Amos Park in Pikeville. Make sure you plan a trip, whether you live here in Pikeville or you don't, to come up here, see Miss Betty and her staff, and if you want to, they'll put you on a horse. They put me on a horse for the first time in 15 years, completely comfortable. We went up the trail, and I promise you, the best views in Pikeville are right here at Dream Stables. Pikeville is my hometown, and when I have people visit from out of town, I make sure I take them to Dorsey's Dairy Bar. So we wanted to make sure we featured it on today's show because you too have to visit Dorsey's when you come to Pikeville. I have managed to come inside Dorsey's and track down the owner of Dorsey's Dairy Bar. This is Irene Fields. It's nice to talk to you today.
Well, it's nice you all came in and thought about us, really.
Thought about you. Everybody knows about you. Dorsey's Dairy Bar is famous throughout the state. Everybody knows about Dorsey's. And it's called a dairy bar, but you all do so much more. Tell me some of your favorite things that you have here.
Well, we have hot dogs. I make my own chili and my coleslaw every day. And I think we have real good hamburgers. Use all meat and no fillers.
You've been here since day one, and day one was 1962. I've heard a rumor, so we want to just go ahead and clarify that right now, that a band truly played on the roof when you guys opened.
Well, that is true. They played music, plus we gave away custards that day.
I want to know, where did you get the idea for a Dorsey burger?
Well, at that time, I lived in Louisville, and my husband passed away, so I came back here, and I wanted a little cheaper sandwich for some people, so we started the Dorsey burgers.
How much did that first Dorsey burger cost?
15 cents.
You can still get a Dorsey burger for under $1 right here at Dorsey's Dairy Bar. But you know, I just thought about something. You're not Dorsey, you're Irene. Who's Dorsey?
That's my sister at that time. She was the baby in the family.
So she doesn't even live around here, but she tells everybody she's got a dairy bar named after her in Pikeville.
Yes, a lot of people, you know, they really connect her with the dairy bar here.
How many people have ever looked at you and called you Dorsey because they didn't know any better?
Well, I don't know how many. I just let it go.
So you get called Dorsey a lot?
I get called Dorsey, but I just, okay, that's all right.
Number 76. Dorsey's Dairy Bar is a good place for us to end our day in Pikeville. Thank you for watching this episode of I Want to Do That. For behind-the-scenes photos and more information from this episode, go to ekbtv.com.